Well, it's day 25 of the partial government shutdown. It's still no resolution from Washington, D.C. More and more people are kind of feel the effects of this, right? Especially federal workers facing dwindling bank accounts. Jennifer Bellamy is in the newsroom right now looking into why experts say African Americans in particular are hit really hard.
Well, Ron, we've been doing some checking into these numbers and found that African Americans make up a higher percentage of those workers in the public sector. Our Ashley Johnson has been following the story for us. So what do you have tonight?
Jay Bell, well, a lot of it goes back to history. The federal government passed the Civil Rights Act and discrimination laws, so the public sector has always been enticing for blacks. Also, many blacks have found government jobs to be the ticket for achieving the American dream because of decent pay and job stability. But I want to break down the numbers according to the U.S. Census. Now, blacks make up less than 13% of the U.S. population. Blacks make up about 10.5% of the civilian workforce and 18.4% of federal employees. But here's what really makes the difference. Black families have a fraction of the wealth of white families. According to the Census Bureau, for every $100 of white family wealth, black families have less than $6. Emory political science professor Andrew Gillespie says this is one of the biggest downfalls.
Blacks and Latinos have far less wealth than their white counterparts do, which means that in a crisis, you might have less income to fall back on, which means that people don't have savings to even dip into, and that might actually put people in a more precarious situation.
And she also adds that a lot of black businesses will be hurt that have federal contracts, and those businesses will never see any pay coming from this shutdown. So that's one of the realms where, you know, it's a domino effect in this case.
So are we thinking that this statistic is going to prevent African Americans from working in the public sector for much longer?
Well, she says naturally when you are afraid of having another shutdown, people will tend to look towards jobs in the private sector. But she also mentions take into account cities like Atlanta, where the cost of living keeps on going up. So even if you have a job with a decent salary, a lot of people don't have a lot of wiggle room to save up. And that's what we're seeing play out right now when it comes to people who aren't getting a paycheck due to this shutdown.